Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. Crypto friends, checking in on the recent action. We had the Bitcoin bulls double bottom and hold the low of the pullback at this point, and we also broke the high of the bounce, but there's no follow through at this point. So it's certainly not a market environment where we want to be buying bull breaks. And until we're in a daily uptrend, until we're in a daily and weekly uptrend, I wouldn't consider buying bull breaks for entering positions. Some people are using bull breaks to sell positions, and that's probably the way to do it at this point. So anyways, we hit that bottom. The bull saw a decent response. We have not changed the 4-hour trend as that move is coming straight off the low. The hourly trend did change with this little bull flag. The bulls are trying for another little bull flag right now. So 82.28 is short-term support. If we break 82.28, we're going to be right back within this daily range, and it'll be like that little break never even happened. So again, I'm still in my position of 7,800. I had bids that were under the 7,700 level, so nothing else filled, but I'm not going to be adding to my position on any strength. Pretty much what I'm going to be doing is sitting here, and now that this daily RSI has cooled off this much on today's candlestick, I'm going to start pulling my bids because it's not the same scenario as it was yesterday, and I am going to look to sell my current position, ideally in the mid to upper 8,000 range, looking at this exponential resistance, but worst case, break even at this point. And again, all of that change is because the RSI has cooled off, and the daily RSI is why I was looking to continue building my position, but not anymore. So double bottom down at 77. On any further follow through, we are just looking for a weekly lower high as well. So even if best case scenario for these bulls, we bounce, we get up to daily exponential resistance, we reject, we pull back, we hold 8,000, and then we change the daily trend. All that means is we just zoom out and we look for a weekly lower high compared to 10,939. So there's a lot of steps that have to take place for the bulls to be looking at fully shifting momentum back in their favor. And like I've been saying, you better believe there's bears that are going to be waiting at daily exponential resistance to begin reestablishing positions once this daily RSI does cool off. ETH, nice continuation on its bounce, and technically we've changed the daily trend bullish, but we take it with a grain of salt because Bitcoin is not in a daily uptrend. So our higher low is now 164.34. We broke the top of the bounce to a higher high. We're testing exponential resistance right now and looking at it from a weekly perspective. We can say anything under 224.71 is a weekly lower high. It's just more a significant bounce than what Bitcoin has seen. Percentage-wise, we're looking at about a 19 or 20% move. And of course, looking at that on Bitcoin, much less at this point, less than half of that. So Ethereum is one of the bounce leaders. And looking at the ETH BTC chart shows us why. High, low, lower high, little bull flag being confirmed. All about 223. And we haven't changed the weekly trend yet. This is still the same weekly bull move. The daily higher low is now key here at 207. Best case scenario for the bulls is to see Bitcoin continue its daily bounce and see a bull break of this chart, which would mean that Ethereum bulls are likely making their way into the upper 180s if both Bitcoin and the ETH BTC chart can break bullish. LTC is also a weaker bounce, more in line with Bitcoin. The high of the initial bounce has not broken yet. 58.61 is that resistance. We did hold support though, so more sideways trading. And if we look at it on the 12-hour time frame, a little bit more clarity, but not a whole lot. Just as far as resistance goes, 56.90, 58.61, a couple of resistances, and we've got support at 52.18 and 50.25 bulls. On any kind of bounce, we're just looking at daily exponential resistance, and the LTC BTC chart is way weaker than the ETH BTC chart. So ETH strongest, Bitcoin is second, Litecoin is third. Out of those three, XRP has seen a very nice leg up on big bull volume. So things got real tight here. Looking at it on the 4-hour time frame, just all showed up out of nowhere in just a few hours. And we're still in an hourly uptrend right now. Short-term support is 255 and resistance is 263. If we lose 255, we zoom out and we'll look for a daily higher low to form. But at this point, the bulls still have control. So the size of the bounce at this point on XRP, that's going to put it in the lead of about a 23-24% move. And you better believe that bears are going to be watching. If we look at this on the 2-day time frame, a little bit more condensed, high, low, and we're scouting a lower high compared to 32.7. So bulls in full control short term, as long as the hourly uptrend remains and testing some resistance. BNB is another weak bounce, similar to LTC, similar to Bitcoin, but even weaker. Top of the initial bounce, 1649 has not broken. Bulls did hold support, 1425, but until we see a bull break, we're still not even scouting our daily lower high yet, with daily exponential resistance looming. And EOS now getting another leg up, more in line with Ethereum and XRP. It's gone 27%. So again, percentage-wise, these small caps definitely have some bigger percentage drops. We dropped 40% in 3 days, but obviously a very significant bounce as well. So if you are short-term trading, there are definitely day trading opportunities in these altcoins, and these are some of the larger cap altcoins. But as far as resistance goes, we're looking for a daily lower high at the exponential resistance test approaching. We have hourly support to be watching. Most recent hourly support, really the most important level for me would be 288 at this point. That's the low of the initial consolidation before the bulls saw a little bit of follow through. And we know that the next time we consolidate, we'll anticipate a 4-hour higher low is likely. So just a quick check-in to establish that we've got Bitcoin as the standard, Ethereum, XRP, and EOS are the stronger names on this bounce, and Binance and LTC are the weaker names on this bounce. And it's all about whether or not these Bitcoin bulls can get follow through, or really just a 4-hour trend change. We need a 4-hour trend change with a higher low and higher high and a bullish cross of these exponential moving averages if we're going to be believers that this Bitcoin move can get more follow through. So big picture, a lot of work is needed on a lot of these charts to change their daily trends. If we do that, we just zoom out and look for weekly lower highs to be set, and it's going to be a slow road to recover trends on these longer term time frames. But at least in the short term, temporary bottoms are hit. And from here, my game plan, after I sell Bitcoin, wherever that ends up being, hopefully in the upper $8,000 range, but wherever I sell Bitcoin, I'm going to be back to all cash. I'm going to be patiently waiting, anticipating that even if we do get bull follow through while I'm all cash and I'm not benefiting from it, we're just going to be looking for weekly lower highs. And we'll keep some interest on the Bitcoin pairings of these altcoins, because if we see a bigger picture, Bitcoin monthly higher low form, let's just say we don't have anywhere near enough information to say that our higher low is 77, but let's just say for argument's sake that it is our higher low. If we trade within this monthly range, set our low, see a bounce, set a monthly lower high, and trade within this range through the rest of the year into 2020, again, that kind of sideways action can allow the correlations for the altcoins to Bitcoin to break a bit, and they will have a bit more ability to do their own thing, just like they were doing when this weekly time frame was tightening up. So best case scenario for the altcoin bulls would be to see at a bare minimum, or I should say at least worst case scenario, see Bitcoin tighten up on the monthly time frame, because if it looks probable that Bitcoin will tighten, I mean, even myself, I'm going to go and trade Litecoin and Ethereum and some of these other names more if it looks like Bitcoin's volatility is going to drop off on the monthly time frame. We're still a ways away from that happening, but again, we want to plan bigger picture and look a couple months out and anticipate where we should be looking as far as which coins we should be looking at, and we'll take it from there. One day at a time as always. Bulls holding on for now, moving my bids because the RSI on the daily has cooled off. Do good things out there. Thanks for tuning in, and we will check in and see how these bounces continue to play out with daily exponential resistance, the most clear resistance that we're watching on pretty much all the coins that there are.